They told you to ignore her, that silence is power, that pulling away would make her come running back. This idea is everywhere, spoken like some secret strategy passed down in the hidden corners of men's dating advice circles. It sounds bold. It sounds masculine. But here's the truth. It almost always backfires. Because silence without strength is not composure, it's confusion. And confusion doesn't inspire love. It doesn't make her miss you. It doesn't earn your respect. It tells her that you're emotionally unavailable, unsure, or even worse, playing games. And trust me, she can feel that. Women are emotionally intuitive, far more than we often give them credit for. While you're there, sitting in silence, thinking you've taken the upper hand by withdrawing, she's already interpreting it as weakness. She's not wondering where you are. She's wondering why you suddenly vanished instead of speaking with clarity. She's not imagining you as stoic and mysterious. She's assuming you're either punishing her, afraid to confront the emotional tension, or simply too passive to lead. And the Stoics would agree. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This quote isn't about romantic revenge. It's about rising above the reactive emotional games most people play. She becomes distant, and your instinct might be to distance yourself further, to match her coldness, to make her feel what you feel. But that's not strength. That's imitation. That's emotional mirroring. True Stoicism is about inner leadership, not passive retaliation. A Stoic man doesn't become invisible just because she's pulling away. He doesn't respond to coldness with more coldness. He stays composed, present, still, not stuck, because being unbothered doesn't mean becoming unavailable. It means remaining calm in the storm, grounded while others lose their footing. Modern psychology reinforces this. In a recent 2023 behavioral study, over 70% of women admitted to losing respect for men who responded to emotional tension with silence and nothing more, not because they demanded attention or drama, but because silence, when given without clarity, feels like emotional punishment. It feels like a man is avoiding responsibility, or worse, using absence as a tactic to provoke a reaction. It makes him appear emotionally fragile, not powerful. And here's the key. A woman may test you emotionally, not because she wants to hurt you, but because she's trying to find something solid in you, something still, something safe. But when you disappear at the first sign of conflict, you fail the test. She's not seeing your strength. She's witnessing your retreat. Stoic wisdom teaches us that true strength is internal. As Epictetus wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength. That means your focus should never be on controlling her reaction, but on controlling your own response. Ignoring her to make her miss you, that's still attachment. That's still trying to manipulate the external world to satisfy your internal uncertainty. And that's the very thing the Stoics warn us about. Basing your peace on things outside your control. The Stoic alternative is not about disappearing. It's about responding with calm intention. It's about stepping back, not to hurt her, but to find your center. So when a woman becomes distant, a Stoic man doesn't spiral. He doesn't chase. He doesn't react with silence for the sake of silence. He pauses. He reflects. He returns with clarity. This is not about being robotic. It's about responding like a man who knows his worth, who doesn't flinch under pressure, and who speaks not to impress, but to express grounded truth. A message sent from this place of composure carries far more weight than days of silence. Something as simple as, I sense some space. I value clarity, not games. If you're not aligned with that, that's okay. Just let me know. Speaks volumes. It shows that you're not afraid of emotional discomfort, that you're strong enough to name what's happening without blame or fear. That's what creates respect. That's what inspires attraction that a woman may test you. But she's not asking you to crumble. She's asking, are you solid? And your silence, if used the wrong way, says, no, I'm hiding. But when you respond with calm boundaries and values, she sees something rare. She sees a man who doesn't beg, doesn't punish, and doesn't flinch. A man who filters, who leads with internal certainty, not emotional chaos. That's the core of Stoic dating. Not chasing her validation, not retreating into coldness, but standing your ground with self-respect so deeply rooted, her behavior doesn't shake it. This isn't about dominance. It's about direction. You set the tone. You make her wonder, do I meet his standard? And that shift from needing her to needing alignment flips the entire dynamic. Let me give you a real example. One of my clients, Daniel, came to me shattered. He had been dating a woman for 3 months. Things started passionate, fast, exciting, but then she began pulling away. Her text slowed down, her tone cooled, and finally nothing. No reply, nothing but silence. Daniel panicked. He decided to go silent too, thinking maybe she'd notice, maybe she'd feel his absence. But instead, she posted photos with another man. That's when Daniel reached out to me, frustrated and lost. I told him the truth. Silence only works when it's rooted in peace. If you're doing it to provoke or punish, she'll feel that and she'll detach. So we reset his approach. He took 2 days to pause, to ground himself, to step back from the chaos. Then he sent her a message, not emotional, not dramatic, just clear. Hey, I've noticed some space. I value mutual effort. Let me know if we're still aligned. No pressure either way. Then he focused on himself, his purpose, his growth, his discipline. He posted, not to bait her, but to reflect his momentum. 2 days later, she messaged, I've been thinking about you a lot. I miss how grounded you are. That's not magic. That's Stoic clarity in action. Women don't respect games. They respect grounding. They respect clarity over confusion, composure over cowardice. They don't want to be punished with silence. They want to feel your presence, even when things are hard. When you lead with dignity, you invite her to meet you there. And if she doesn't, then you walk away. Not with bitterness, not to win, but because peace is too expensive to trade for chaos. That's the Stoic way. Not detachment for revenge, but detachment for peace. You don't need her to change for you to be okay. You are okay because you've chosen to stay grounded, regardless of what she chooses. So, what should you say instead of disappearing? Speak from strength. Say what you mean. Don't argue. Don't beg. And never, ever try to confuse her into loving you. Try this instead. I've noticed your energy shift. I value emotional honesty. Let me know where you stand. Or, I don't do passive behavior. If you want to talk, I'm here for clarity. Or when it's time to let go, I respect what we had, but I don't cling to what doesn't grow me. Wishing you the best. These are not emotional attacks. They're calm exits. And calm exits leave a deeper impression than emotional games ever will. Because she won't remember the man who ghosted her. She'll remember the man who stayed composed in the storm, the one who refused to be reactive, the one who left without anger, but with power. That's what Stoic leadership looks like. It doesn't scream, it doesn't chase, and it doesn't punish. It leads quietly, it walks with peace, it lets go with clarity. The next time you feel the urge to go silent, don't do it from fear, do it from stillness. Pause, breathe, reflect. And then, if you choose to speak, speak with strength. If you choose to walk away, walk like a man who knows his value. Because when you no longer need her to feel whole, you become whole. You are the mountain. She is just passing weather. And the mountain never chases a storm. Remember this. He who angers you controls you. He who ignores you frustrates you. But he who is at peace, he owns the game. You don't need to ignore her. You need to outgrow her. And when you do, the world opens, not because you returned, but because you finally returned to yourself. That's what Stoicism teaches us. That's what real strength looks like. Not loud, not cold, but rooted, still, and absolutely unstoppable. So now you know. Ignoring her isn't power. It's a misunderstanding of what real strength looks like. Stoicism doesn't teach us to disappear. It teaches us to rise, to respond with calm, not chaos, to lead with clarity, not control. You don't need to vanish to be respected. You need to stand still, unmoved, while others play emotional games. That's your edge. That's your fire. When she pulls back, don't chase. When she tests you, don't crumble. And when she stops showing up with honesty, you don't punish. You simply step back into yourself and move forward with peace. The Stoic man doesn't fight for attention. He lives in such a way that attention becomes unnecessary because his focus isn't on her, it's on mastering himself. And if she walks away, let her. You don't lose anything by letting go of someone who couldn't meet you in your strength. You gain something far more valuable: clarity, freedom, and space for a woman who will. The storm is loud, but the mountain is eternal. Be the mountain. If this message hit you deep, if you're ready to stop playing games and start leading with grounded masculine power, then this is your moment. Subscribe to Everyday Stoicism right now for more unshakable truths, powerful mindset shifts, and the ancient wisdom that still wins in the modern world. Like this video if you're done with emotional noise. Share it with a brother who needs to reclaim his frame. We're building a generation of men who don't react. They rise. This is Everyday Stoicism, and we're just getting started. Stay calm, stay sharp, stay stoic.